Yo, this is King of the Ring Boxing back again with a new video. Obviously repping my team today. We're on a bit of a good run, but I think it might come to an end, to be honest, very soon. Got a few tough games coming up. But yeah, Ryan Garcia has said that there's a bigger fight on the table for him than the Gervonta Davis fight. When he was asked if this potential opponent was Manny Pacquiao, he essentially refused to answer the question, which suggests that there's a possibility it could be. And wow, that would, out of all the fights that I wouldn't expect to happen, that would probably be up there as one of the least likely that I was expecting to see in 2021. Where would it take place? It's such a bizarre. It's come about in such a bizarre way. Obviously, nothing's been confirmed. I wouldn't even know how to call it. I would not know how to call this fight, because obviously, back in the day, Pacquiao, unrelenting pressure, phenomenal speed, and even for a small guy, had knockout power as well. But does he have that? He doesn't fight in the same way now. He fights in short bursts. Obviously, that's not a criticism. He's obviously an older fighter now, and obviously as you age, you don't have the same energy as you did when you were 20, 30 years old. So yeah, he fights in a different way now, so that sort of might play into Ryan Garcia's hand. The other thing to take into account is that Ryan will have, even though he's at 135, Manny's at 147, Ryan will have the height advantage, the reach advantage, and possibly the speed advantage. I'm not too sure. Obviously, at his peak, obviously Manny has faster hands than Ryan, hands down. But at this point, it might be similar. In terms of power, just based off of resume. Obviously, in recent years, I think Manny knocked down Keith Thurman, knocked down Adrian Broner. I believe he knocked down Adrian Broner anyway. I might be wrong about that, but I know for sure he knocked down Keith Thurman. Whereas Ryan, the most notable opponent that he's knocked down is Luke Campbell. But Luke Campbell himself tends to get knocked down quite a lot. I believe there was a stat that over his last 10 fights, Luke Campbell that is, he was only connected with 10 punches per round, which is extremely low. Shows that he has really good defense. But he was knocked down 5 or 6 times, which obviously shows that he does have a bit of a weak chin. And obviously, Garcia knocked him down to the body anyway. But his punch resistance might not be that high. So maybe even at this point, Pacquiao might have more power. But it's a really, really interesting fight, because as I said, back in the day, Manny Pacquiao, unrelenting pressure. These days, he fights in short bursts, a bit like how Mike Tyson, in his prime, first three, 4 rounds, he'd be unrelenting, but after that, he'd fight in short bursts, sort of because his sort of style required such high energy. Whereas Manny, for reasons I won't disclose because I don't want to get sued, in his prime, would have carried that energy from round 1 to round 12. But these days, in short bursts, which I think will play into Ryan's hands, because he can let off some of his own work and maybe he'll look good whilst doing so, because as I said, he does have physical advantages. I reckon that fight would be at 147, so obviously there'll be a weight at which Manny is more accustomed to than Ryan. But yeah, it's really interesting. I did not see this coming at all. I was genuinely expecting, the way that they were calling each other out, I was genuinely expecting Garcia, Gervonta next, but it seems to me that there's a spanner in the works now. And could this be, for Garcia, right place, right time? Pacquiao is a legend of the sport, very old. Obviously, even though he is old, his last 3 fights accumulated really good wins against Matisse, Broner, Thurman. So he still looks good, you see. But is Ryan Garcia in a perfect position to capitalise on an old man who is coming to the end of his career? maybe, and this could be one of the most genius moves pulled off by Golden Boy, pulled off by Oscar De La Hoya, to put Ryan Garcia in with Pacquiao and for him to get the victory. I don't actually know how that fight would go. Maybe closer to the fight, I will do a proper in-depth analysis. Judging from sort of on a surface level, like I don't really know how to call that fight. Obviously Ryan's very vulnerable himself. He did get caught, he's very flat-footed, and as I said, Manny still does carry a lot of power. So, but again, Ryan's also shown the ability to get up off the canvas and sort of recover quite quickly. Obviously it was off the back of a Luke Campbell right hand. Yeah, I just don't know. Like, I wouldn't know like how to call it, to be honest, because there's so many factors going into this fight. Any prediction that's right will make someone look like a genius. So yeah, it's one of those. But as always, leave comments below. How do you see that fight going? Do you think Garcia has a chance? Obviously this fight's not even confirmed yet. It was sort of a proposition put forward by the reporter to Garcia, and he didn't really answer the question. It might be a bit of promo on Garcia's side to elevate his status. Obviously the fight might not even be considered, but people are talking about it now because of that. So I could just be making this video for absolutely fuck all reason, to be honest, but it's interesting. It is very interesting. So leave comments below. How do you see that fight going? Do you think Garcia stands a chance? Do you think Pacquiao will just blow him out? I would say in Pacquiao's prime, he would blow Garcia out, because obviously Garcia's a 135er, and at 147, Manny in his prime would have blown him out. At Ryan's current stage, that is, where he is right now. But since Pacquiao's a bit older, his fighting style has changed. I really don't know. But yeah, like, comment, share and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It's King of the Ring Boxing. I'm out.